Our next lesson is about listing users who have logged in, let's say, for example, today or any Pacific day. So what happened is let's say your manager comes to you and asks you, "Hey, Imran, can you get me a list of all the users who have logged in today?" And if they are logged into from a Pacific machine, from a Pacific IP, or even you could say, "Hey, can you give me a list of users who logged in on July 25th?" Then what would happen? You have to actually go in, get for the right command, look for the right options and the right piping commands, and then you run the command. So what if you already have a script that does this type of job for you, and you know that your manager is going to come back to you and ask you the same thing probably like 2 or 3 times a week or a month. So then you need to create a script. So we'll create that script for our manager so he'll be happy. So let's go directly into our machine. And by the way, what the script is going to do is it's going to look for users who are logged in today. That's the first script that we will write. The second, what it will do is within the same script, what we'll do is we will add the user input, meaning we will ask the user, okay, you want me to get a list of all the users, but do you want to get it for a specific day or specific month? So we will give that option, give the leverage to the user so they could simply input the month or date and it will get them that output. Sound interesting, right? So we'll try that. All right, let's go back to our machine and again we are logged in as ourself, which directory we are in. Let's go to our professional scripts directory and I am going to name this script list users. Okay, our regular drill, define our variable, our author, date. I'm going to leave the date out. You could put it in. Description, this script will list users logged in by date. Modified, you could pick that too. I'm going to leave that out. I know you are expert now. Okay, so the first thing that it will do is now before I write anything, let's write and quit out of this, save it. And if you want to get a list of users by date, what do? You do run last command, right? You hit enter and you get all those users on the first column and the machine, their terminal, the time, and which date they logged in, the time, and if they're still logged in or not. If you do, let's say last, you'll see these are all the machines that user logged in with from all the machine, the time they're logged in. So we want to know the list of users by the date. So the command we ran already, right? But we don't need all that stuff. We need the simple users. So we have to modify our command, right? So it will be last, and then we will do, let's say, um, grep for like let's say Monday. So it will give us all the Monday and everything. But we also want to make sure that it actually goes by the date. So if my manager says give me all the list of users that are logged in today, so I know I could run that command and I know today's date, right? And I could just simply grep for that. But what if I want the script to run automatically? Then the script needs to know what today's date is. And for it to find out, you'll have to run the date command. And then you could do is simply grep for this date, let's say Friday, August 31st, and then, sorry, first you type the last command and then grep for that specific date, and it will give you only the users for that specific date, right? That's how you do it. But again, script doesn't know what date is today, so script has to run the command date to find today's date and parse it and then put that into the script. So to do that, we'll get back to our script, which is list users, and here first we'll do is we'll define the variable that what is today's date. So today equal, and we'll put the tick The tick always comes before the date, before the command. So date awk print $1, we want month, $2, $3. This is what we want. And tick again to close it. But what exactly this command is doing? So let's copy this command, save our script, and run it. See, it's giving you the first three fields. So if you just type date, it gives you the three field, the time, the EDT, which is the zone, the year, and bunch of information. So you don't want to get all that information. You just want the first three columns so you could group against these columns. So we already defined that in our command, and it will pick only first three columns. Let's get back to our list of users. We already defined that. We put in a variable, and variable is called today. Now we will do is we'll do last, which is to actually run the command, and we want to grep for what? We want to grep for our variable, and variable is what? Today. So basically what's saying is run the last command and grep for the variable, and variable is this. So this is what it's going to do, and now let's run it. Give permissions. Okay, you see what is happening here? It's saying August, no such file directory, 31st, no such file directory. Why is happening? Let me tell you why. Okay, so let's do the cat of the script. You see, it's when you run this command, it gives you the information, which is Friday, August 31st, and we are passing this output to the grep. But when you do this passing of information of grep, and then you do this entire thing, then the grep doesn't know which to grep for. It has to grep for Friday or August or 31st. So we have to put that in quotes. So the grep would know that this whole thing is one string. Then it'll grep it. So we have to modify our script the same way. List. And we will put the quote around our variable. Perfect. Now let's clear the screen. Let's run it again. And this time it is giving me all the users that have been logged in today. So system will find out today's date, and it will grep for that today's date. So this is our first script that I mentioned that we wanted to do. You have the list, submit it to your manager, and if the manager only wants the user, you can modify your script by doing list, and instead of last and grep today, you could just do awk it to what? Column number 1, because you don't want all that stuff that comes with it, right? So now let's run it, and you'll only get the users, and that's what he or she wants to get the list for, right? Now, next thing is we want to create a script that will ask the user input to pull a user. So what if you have the script which the script knows that I'm going to pull users that logged in today only by default. But now we want to give the power to the user. So the user will define its own variable or its own choices. Let's put it this way. So for that, we'll go back into our Linux list user script. And what we'll do is we'll leave everything as is. And no, sorry, we will actually have to remove it because this one actually is for today, and we don't want to grep for today. And we will get rid of this one as well. So you know what? The best thing is, instead of deleting this or removing this, oops, just quit out of it and just copy it. List user by input. That's a second. Oops, sorry. Let's use it by input. Okay, so now now we could modify it this way. We could leave the previous script as is and modify the new one. Okay, so let's get rid of it. So description. This script will list users logged in by date or now by, oops, by user input. Okay. Okay, so first thing is it has to ask the user what you're looking for. So whenever you need to ask user, what do you have to do? You have to display the message on the screen. To display the message on the screen is echo. And I'll put quote here because I'm going to put parentheses. So please enter day. And I'll put parentheses, for example, Monday. Because I have to let the user know the example, and I'm putting parentheses. That's why when you put parentheses in echo, then I think you would have to put in code. But you could try without code. Hopefully it works. But anyway, just to be sure. Okay, so now you have to read the input. So you do D as for day. Echo, just to put an empty line. Next one you need to ask is, please enter month. For example, August. That's how the user has to enter. Echo again, just put an empty line. Sorry, not echo, read, because we have to read the input. Read M is a variable for month. Echo. Another echo. Now we have to ask another question. Please enter date. For example, 28. Okay, now read the date. D, we already have a variable for it, so we'll put DA. Okay, so we have asked all these questions. Let's put a quick echo here. All right, we have asked already questions, and we have added those questions into a variable. Now, what do we want to do next? Next, we want to do is run the command last and grep for quote $D $M $DA. You see how it is going to grep it? It is going to grep the entered month, the entered day, entered month, and entered date, and we'll put that variables here, and we'll grep it from the last. Let's run it, and we'll see how it works. List users by input. Please enter day. Perfect. I'll put in Monday, as it say. Please enter month. Let's say August. Please enter date. Now put 28. And it says there is no user that actually has logged in that date. To verify our script runs, let's run just last command just to see if there is actual users who work. So we'll pick Sunday, August 26th. Perfect. Okay. Let me clear the screen so this way you'll see it clearly. Sunday, August 26th. So we know for sure that this is the day, month that someone in my machine or I have logged in. So when I hit enter, now it's giving me all the users that have been logged in to my Linux machine on this date. Again, if you want to just view the list of users, not the whole information, what you have to do is you just put it at the end, you put in awk $1. And this way it will only give you the users. Clear the screen. Let's run it again. List user by input. Please enter date, Sunday, August 26th. Perfect. This is what we wanted to know, and you could just simply copy and paste it to your email and send it to your boss, and you are happy, he's happy, and your script is done. Next time he comes back to you and says, hey, can you get me that same list again? What do you have to do? You have to run the command to put in all those variables again? No, you have a script. You made your life easy. So you just run the script and there it goes. Now you could go one step further. How is you could actually automate this task by running to the cron job if your manager tells you that I need a list of everyone who logs in on Monday of every month. You could specify that as well. All right. Hopefully it works out for you. Try it out. Try the different options.